Let me finish it out. This is verse 14. Matthew 20 and verses 14. Take that is thine and go thy way.
That's right. Hey, you see how Yahushua dismissed it? That's how you don't get dismissed. And a lot of you too tough, you're in the flesh chatting shit. When you get to that stage of receiving the recompense of your reward, okay, for whatever works you've wrought in the ministry, you ain't gonna be talking all that smack. You're only saying that now because you're probably in the cold somewhere frustrated. A lot of you ain't even gonna be saying this, but this is to edify you, so you can stop being envious of your brethren, man. Okay?
Right. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own?
Right.
Is thine eye evil because I am good?
Because the kingdom is not even yours.
Right.
It's his. And he's promised that you're going to be joint heirs as long as you have faith. The faith of Abraham is what's going to make you a joint heir. That's what ties you to the covenant, man. Okay? The Most High said he's going to give you his kingdom, but yet you want to tell him how you want the kingdom to be. It's like a man, it's like you told a man that you're going to allow him to use your car, but now he's telling you, oh, can you change the rims? And you put the steering there, and you do that. How does that even sound? Jake will get mad with something like that, you know? He'll be like, raw, fam, I said you could drive my car and now you're trying to change the whole thing. So if you ain't gonna tolerate that, what makes you think the Most High will?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Open your eyes, man.
Right, this is 16. So the last shall be the first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen.
Exactly. So it says the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So if we come in last, and the Most High showed us something to make us first on the list, shouldn't you glorify the Lord like Yahushua did?
Right.
And it shows you Yahushua was a special man. You understand? He glorified the Lord and said, "What? I thank thee, O Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that thou hast hid this from the wise and the prudent, and has revealed it unto babes, man." And that's righteousness right there, because Yahushua was wise and prudent. But the fact that he still had the humility to say, wow, I thank the Lord for, you know, choosing men like Peter and so on. Because a lot of people don't realize Peter wasn't no goody-goody guy, you know. Get me that in Matthew 7.
Bring it out.
Matthew 7 and I think 5.
Even Matthew himself was a tax collector.
Exactly. I want the part where he said, is it John? Wait.
There's Matthew 7 and 23.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Then what, should I start from 22?
Yeah, you can start from there, yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 7 and 22. And he will say to me in that day, Yahweh, have we not prophesied in the name?
Right.
And in thy name have cast out devils. Right. And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I will never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Right.
Yeah. Actually, it's Luke. Yeah, Luke.
Oh, Luke.
Yeah, but that's a good point, though. It says, many shall come in that day, man. You know, and be like, oh man, you know, I used to be out there. Yahushua would be like, move from me. You know how the man said, move from me. Yahushua gonna do that to you as well. He's gonna be like, move yourself. And his voice is gonna be high pitched. It's gonna be like waters, man. Your soul probably depart from everybody. Yeah, start from verse 7. So listen to what Peter said. So like we said, Yahushua didn't come for no high priest this, high priest that. He didn't. Did Yahushua sit with the high priests and the chief leaders and
those were the men persecuting him.
Those were the men persecuting him. So you know he's coming on some Rambo thing, man. Yeah, coming with some guerrilla warfare, jungle mentality.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 5, and verses 7. And they beckoned unto their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both ships, so that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Yahweh's knees.
Right, so basically, Simon Peter, the head of the church, he was a fisherman, right? And he had his own ship. And he had a crew of, brothers with him. He used to go to the sea, catch fish. He was a regular Jake, just trying to make a living. He wasn't no high priest this, high priest that, Sadducee, When it comes to Apostle Paul, he was learnt in the gospel. That's why he explained certain scriptures to the disciples more perfectly, because he had that he was coming from a learned background.
He wasn't even one of the 12.
Exactly, he wasn't even one of the 12, man. He was, Judas. He replaced Judas the Iscariot, the murderer. Yeah?
Right. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Yahweh's knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man,
Hey,
O Lord."
did you hear what Peter said? Peter told Yahweh to move from him, don't come to me. He's like, I'm not your guy, And that's humility right there, man. He could have got puffed up and be like, Yahweh want to roll with me? I must be special. He was like, nah, man, I'm not your guy, man. I'm just a fisherman, man, trying to make a living out here, But in the spirit, he was a very special man, and he didn't even know. Because a lot of these brothers here are special, man. A lot of the brothers you see on the highways and the byways are special men. They don't know who they were. Because if you hear what Ezra said, he said, "Who shall deliver me in the day of the nuclear missiles," man? And we're in the time of the nuclear missile. So Ezra is here in one of the bodies, man, doing the same thing we're doing now, because there's no new thing under the sun. We've always been doing this.
This is verses 9. For he was astonished, and all that were with him, at the draught of the fishes which they had taken. And so was also James and John, the sons of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon.
Did you hear that? So they were all the disciples were fishermen, man. And that's the spirit, because you got some brothers that are fishermen that are in this truth as well. Like the brothers from Trinidad. They are fishermen. They go to sea, because we're talking about this moon thing, and they said, they believe that the crescent is the new moon, because they're on the sea, so they see the moon. And they said they were counting the days, and it was 30, and they were like, what's going on? But because brothers are shooker men, they don't want to come out and tell the truth. And that's that same spirit that was going on back in the scribe and the Pharisees' time, man. Trying to keep the truth on the hush. You can't call yourself a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai if when it comes to speaking truth, you try and go on that hush-hush. Yeah? The Lord has not given us the spirit of fear.
That's right.
Truth must be boldly spoken.
That's right.
Alright? Get me that in John 8. Yeah, I think that's it on there. John 8 and 32. The truth is what's going to make us free. And really, we're free right now. You know why? Because we don't go to bed worrying about what's going to happen to us tomorrow. Thinking about the cares of this life. Women, if my wife is going to leave me.
That's right.
We don't think about all of that. What am I going to eat tomorrow?
That's right.
I ain't got no money in my account. That's cares of this life. We don't care about stuff like that. Because we're free from that. Because we know everything that you see today, tomorrow is going to be no more. You understand? All this is temporal, man. It's a test to refine the elect for the kingdom. So when they're in their glory, they can glorify Yahweh even more. Because everything was made for His glorification, man. That's the game plan, for His name to be glorified. From generation to generation, man. You understand?
It's the book of John, chapter 8, and verses 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And the what?
And the truth shall make you free.
Right, so if the truth is coming out, let it come out. Like brothers wanted to use Colossians chapter 2 verse 16 as a bailout. Get Colossians 2:16. Let's touch that quickly before we close up. Oh, you got that? But for Colossians 2:16, you can get Ezekiel 45 and 17. So yeah, get Colossians 2 because this is the precept that brothers try to use to justify, you know, not following the correct cycle so they can keep the Passover on the correct day. Because the whole point of all of this, yeah, is just so you can keep the Passover. That's all it is. Because this is the end game right now. The Most High, everything is narrowing down to the Passover, man. So read that.
Right, it's the book of Colossians, chapter 2, and verses 16.
Yeah.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon.
Hey, did you hear that? Or of the new moons. So this whole thing is about the feast days, man. Okay? Get Psalms 81 verse 3. So this whole thing that the Lord is doing, it wasn't even clout chasing or nothing. The Lord was just trying to get you on track so you could keep the Passover, man. Because He's got plans. But because our people are so hard-headed, they're so knuckle-headed, yeah, that's why they didn't want to listen. But it's all good though. It's all good, man.
The book of Psalms, chapter 81,
Feast days.
verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon,
Right?
in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day.
Did you hear that? On the solemn feast days. Because without the new moon, you can't know how to count the days. Because don't forget, everything the Lord did was very particular. You know the Passover, right? Get the Passover, Exodus 12 and verses 6. The Lord was very particular concerning the Passover. He said you have to count a certain amount of days. In order for you to even do a day count, you gotta know when the new moon comes in.
That's right.
So if you don't know when the new moon comes in, how the hell are you gonna keep a Passover, man?
That's right.
And then they say, oh, well that doesn't matter because Colossians 2:16 said don't judge any man. When it wasn't even talking about that. It had nothing to do with not correcting people concerning the new moon. But it had everything to do with not pointing fingers at people concerning the meat offerings, the drink offerings on those days. Because those days had meat and drink offering that you have to give on those days. Yeah.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 12, and verses 6. It's like a 6. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month.
Did you hear that? The 14th day of the same month of what? Abayab, which is Abib, right? As they say in Yiddish, which is the first month of the Hebrew calendar. So the first month on the 14th day, how are you gonna know when that month even begins to count 14, man? Yeah? You got fringes on your garments. You got the e-pods, you got the all kind of precepts, but yet these simple basic stuff, because this is Exodus, this is at the beginning of the Bible. You missed that, and then you rush tackled your way all the way to Rev, saying that, yeah. You see how the Lord humbles people. You rush tackled your way all the way to Revelations. You're trying to go into prophecies concerning Revs, but you don't even know how to count to the Passover.
And the whole assembly of the congregation of Yasharallah shall kill it in the evening.
Right? Because the day begins in the evening. Right. That's why we say Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Right. Because people don't even understand the psychology behind that. Because Friday is when everybody goes to party and goes shopping.
Right. And bullshit.
That's why Esau pays you more money on that day.
Right. That's why you get your wages on that day.
There you go. Because you're gonna go straight into the shop and blow the whole check.
Right. Bribing you to take you away from the law, innit? God. That money goes that foolishness.
And that's when all the big fights happen. Like today, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
Right.
They could have done it on a Monday.
They could have.
They could have done it on a Tuesday.
Or even on a Sunday.
Or even on a Thursday or a Wednesday. But they said, nah. Let's get it on the Saturday.
Sabbath.
On the Sabbath day.
Why?
when Jacob is meant to be observing.
Why is that though? Because Esau does not want you guys to keep the Sabbath.
That's right. Anything to take Jake away from
Right.
the Lord.
There you go.
Anything.
Alright, get so Colossians 2:16 again. Read that again. Let's stay on that one. Colossians 2:16. Get that. How much time have we got left? 15 minutes. Right, let's run through this quick.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2 and verses 16.
Right, so let's explain why Paul said that.
Right. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holy day.
Hey, notice he says, or in respect of a holy day. Get Acts chapter 20 verse 16 real quick, Baba Kishar. Let's see if Paul's being a hypocrite. 20 and 16. Because notice, Paul said what? Let no man judge you in respect of a holy day. Let's see if Paul kept the holy days.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 20, verses 16. For Paul had determined to sail by Ephesus, because he would not spend the time in Asia, for he hasted.
For he hasted. Why?
If it were possible for him to be at Yasharalem the day of Pentecost.
Did you hear that? So Paul was keeping the Feast of Weeks. And the Feast of Weeks is 49 days plus 1. Now in order to get a 50-day count, there is no way under the sun you could do that keeping a 29.5 monthly calendar. Because when you get to the 0.5, you still got what? 29. I need a calculator for this one. 29.5 minus 50, you're gonna be left with what? 20.5. So the 0.5, how do you even work out the 0.5 to carry on the 50-day count? And I told one of the brothers and he was like, oh shit. Yeah, that's what he said. He was gobsmacked. No one questioned it. It slipped under the radar. But it's all good though, because the Most High got something special coming, man. Because there's a lot of inbuilt pride. There's a lot of inbuilt pride in the nation of Israel. And the Lord said he's going to lean it out. You see that fatness that you've got in your spirit? The Lord is going to lean you out, man. Get Isaiah 10 and 16 for that one quick. Their hearts are fat. They're proud. So bring that. Read that, Isaiah 10 and 16. The Lord is bringing humility to the tabernacle, man. All that leaven is going to get shaved out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 16.
Read up.
Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire.
Did you hear that? The Lord said he's going to send leanness. Okay? Because our people are fat, they're proud in the heart. You know when it says their hearts are fat, it means that you're so lifted and puffed up.
Yeah, puffed up.
So the Lord said he's going to bring leanness. He's going to get rid of all that pride, man. Okay? Because the Lord is a chef, you know. You know when he's cooking the lamb, he's going to cut all the grease off, all the fat, put it to the side, then he's going to shove it in the oven and it's going to come out brown, man. Yeah. The Most High is a good chef, man. I'm telling you. That's why he says your meat offerings, your drink offerings, 2 epas, you know, everything is specific, man. But when it comes to the month, though, 29.5. That's confusion, man. There's half a day when you get to the end of the month.
What precept is that?
There's half a day.
What precept is that?
But it's all good, man. It's all good. Anyway, that Colossians 2 and 16, Baba Kishar, read your precept, Isaiah 45, Ezekiel 45, because Ezekiel 45 shows you why Paul said that. It shows you why Paul said that. Because you still have certain men that didn't understand the significance behind Yahweh's death. They didn't understand that the death of Yahweh replaced the burnt offerings. That was the ultimate sacrifice that the Most High required. Because the Most High requires blood, you know. That's what people know. That's how we know these niggas are going to die, man. That's how we know these Edomites are going down as well. Because the Most High requires blood, man. Yeah. So by default, the blood is going to spill. let the blood flow. So read that, Ezekiel 45:17. Yeah, come.
Ezekiel 45 and 17.
Read up.
And it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings and drink offerings.
Did you hear that? And notice it says, judge no man in meat or in drink. Okay, read.
In the feasts and in the new moons.
In the feasts and in the new moons. You can't get around that. It's as clear as day. Because there is a sacrifice, there's a meat offering for those specific days. This is why the Lord put the Spirit on Paul to say that. Why? Because Apostle Paul understood the law, man. So who better to break it down to the Israelites than the man who understood the law?
Right.
Peter didn't understand the whole law. He wasn't studied in the law. Paul was studied in the law. So the Lord said, I'm going to use him because he knows the law. You understand? So Paul was the perfect chosen vessel. He had that solid foundation in the word. Exactly. Exactly. So get yeah, and also this is gonna further prove it. Acts 24:14, real quick, Papa Shah. Listen to what Paul said, man. For those of you that are trying to make it out like Paul come and change the whole thing. That's why people say, oh, me not like Paul, you know. Because Paul a traitor. Paul a traitor. Because you don't understand the letters, man. Exactly. And Philip said that to the eunuch. Some man teach me. At least he was humble. That's why he got the understanding. Yeah.
This is the book of Acts chapter 24 and verse 14. But this I confess unto thee.
Right, so Paul is making a confession right now. And listen to what he said.
That after the way which they call he say, so worship I the whole of my fathers, believe in all things which are written in the law and in the prophets.
Did you hear that? He said he believes all things, man. He believes in the Passover. He believes in the Pentecost, circumcision, everything. The moon, he believes there's 30 days. I'm sure back in them times, if you come and ask them that question, they'll probably slap you in the head. Be like, are you mad, fam? What are you talking about? Yeah. And also, the moon is how you know the days in the month and what month you're in. And also the sun tells you the time in the day. Because you know when the sun sets here, if you put the stick on the floor where the sun is setting from, it will move around. It's just like a clock. It goes all the way down and then it will come back to that same spot it's set from and go down again.
Right.
And then you know the day has ended. So you don't even need a watch. Okay? Because but in this case, we're in the bottomless pit. No sun.
No sun.
So you can't even tell what time of the day is because this place is messed up.
Nothing grows.
And the thing is, yeah, that's right, that's it. Because they call it, or the heathens call it a sundial, innit? Like, you know what I mean? But it makes no purpose anyway, you having a watch, because why? They always want to set back the time as well.
Right, there you
so
go.
it don't make no fucking sense, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you have the sun there. The Most High gave us everything that we need. Just like Cap said, he gave us everything we need to obviously work this place, innit? Like, work this place out, innit? Like, the times and the days, seasons, and the months. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Using it just obviously captivity.
Come on, man. Yeah, man. That's all them watches that you got. That's all they're for. It's just for like for fashion. That's all it is, man. Your Rolexes and all this bullshit, man.
That's right. Yeah, man. And also you gotta, read this Bible because the Bible gives you the basics of timekeeping, man. You know, in Genesis 1 and 14, it said the two great lights were for the time and the seasons, man. That's your clock. You know, you don't need Esau to tell you, oh, the new moon is coming in on the 24th, and then you rush and go in. It says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm. He's gonna, and it's funny, the dream I had, Esau was misleading the whole congregation, man. Because they were looking at when he predicted when the moon is coming.
Right.
So you brothers are gonna be following Esau's calendar, and then you're gonna get real fucked up out here. And you can't cry to the Lord and say, Lord, why is this happening to me? The Lord will be like, how can you even trust in someone that you are condemning? It's confusion.
These are little precepts that they can't even get their head around. Right. Most time they cheap life. One life for the day and the lesser life for the night. But it's still a
lesser
light,
light
man.
can't be seen.
But it can't be seen on a new moon, man. That's confusion, man. Because at the end of the day, it's still the light, man. What's the light do? Shine, man.
Let your light shine upon men.
Because nobody puts a light upon a hill and covers it.
But they said the eclipse shows you that the moon is there.
Right, something that you can only see with special glasses.
So Abraham had a telescope. It was going like this.
So brothers were going blind trying to see the new moon and all that. You know what I mean? Because you look at that eclipse, you're going to go blind with
That shit don't exist, man. It don't exist, man.
You got to be careful, man. This place is full of traps. They're out there. You see, the Edomites are out here to get you, you know. You see, a lot of times Jake keeps forgetting. Esau does not like you. He wants to see the end of you because he's upset that he wasn't chosen. And he feels that he's better than you. That's why when we read in Daniel chapter 8 verse 25, it says he will magnify himself within his heart. Because every time Esau walks past, he's like, oh, look at these fucking niggas, man. That's what they're thinking about you. You know?
So you see that Slacky, that video there, one of the brothers put up about the Edomite asking for his birthright back.
He said, why do you niggas have to get everything?
He wants it back.
Yeah, he wants the birthright back.
Even they're waking up, you know, to who they really are. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny, they know something is coming. They're not stupid, man. They're very circumspect. Because one thing about a serpent, a serpent is circumspect. Because he's got eyes on his head and he's always on the ground. So he can see what's going on, man. That's why they can slither into a hole quickly when they sense danger. You can't creep up on a serpent. The serpent is the one that always creeps up on you. But Jake is so stupid, they keep forgetting the Most High has a serpent-like spirit on these Edomites, man. They're very crafty. They use crafty cunningness to rule over people. That's why they always get Jake to turn against Jake. Because they know the curses in Deuteronomy 28 and one of the 50 verses says that I shall be evil toward thy brother. So now they'll come in and they'll look for who's against who. And then they'll give weapons or empower, you know, the opposing side to remove the righteous side. They do that all the time. That's how they take Israel out. They'll look for the most wickedest nigger and then they'll fortify him.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verses 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Right. And there's always gonna be some nigger that's ready to co-sign Esau.
That's right.
Without fail. There's always a nigger. There's always some nigger, man. Jake has the sand of the sea. So there's always some nigger somewhere that's gonna be ready to join hands with this devil. That's why the Lord said he's gonna dispatch you 2/3. Because without your dispatchment, the kingdom will never come. You know?
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Yasharallah.
Right?
For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
That's why there's a lot of chaos in the world. Because the Lord doesn't like this place. Right? Okay? He's trying to avenge the quarrel of his covenant. That's why he's doing this, like he said in Leviticus chapter 26. Right? Read.
Because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land.
Exactly, because these people, these peons out here don't even know who made everything that they see. They're just in it, and they're all following behind Esau like a zombie.
Isaac Newton, innit? The Big Bang or all that rubbish.
Yeah. Whatever Esau says is glorified.
Right.
Whatever Jacob says is frowned upon.
Right.
But when Jacob is being wicked, that's when everyone entertains it, because they want to uplift our people being put down. So if you want to destroy your own people, they're down. But anyway, with that, we're going to close out. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem,